Hey everybody, welcome back to Rook Exchange. So we're doing something different. I'm actually interviewing the host of the show, Richie Ortiz. So how's it going?
It's going pretty well. It's going really well. I'm happy to be in this seat. It's a very rare occurrence in my life that I'm in the guest seat or the participant seat. So
Well, this is my first time doing an interview, so we'll see how this goes.
so you all let us know how we do.
Yeah.
How do I do as a guest? How does he do as a host? But yeah, this is all in good fun. This is not our normal role, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm used to being behind the scenes, so it's a little different being like having the spotlight on you a little bit, but
Yep.
I'm hoping you guys all enjoy, so
Let's do it.
let's get started.
Okay.
So you and I have a background with disc golf and kind of more YouTube stuff than what we did before Rook Exchange. So can you kind of talk about like disc golf bro tour, disc golf, and kind of that type of stuff, and kind of what brought you to disc golf? I mean, too.
It's a great question. So what brought me to disc golf? My wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, taught me how to play in 2010. And this was here in Minnesota in Apple Valley at Alamagnet. That's where I started to play. Hole 1 was my first hole, and after 12 holes of disc golf, that was the course is only 12 holes long, and I just gained such a huge passion for it. In that moment, I just remember absolutely loving it and just knowing that I was going to play pretty much forever from that first round. And so that has taken me on a really long journey in disc golf. And I joined Westside Discs as a sponsor. I joined Westside Discs in 2021. And so I was on their team 2021, 2022, 2023, and I also just signed my contract for 2024. And so they are an amazing company. They're a family to me, and it's just wonderful getting to represent them. So that's what I do in disc golf. And you asked about Bro Tour. I am really just energized by our YouTube ventures. And so if you didn't catch this from the last episode, everybody, where I interviewed Mitch, we are business partners. We do disc golf Bro Tour together. We'll put the link to that channel in the description.
Make sure you subscribe and like the Disc Golf Bro Tour as well as this channel too.
Yes, definitely. Focus on this channel first and then Bro Tour, but we have such a passion for just interactions with people, and now chess. I mean, I've played chess my whole life. Mitch has played chess from a young age as well, and so yeah. So Bro Tour was something, and it still is something that I have a lot of energy around. I love disc golf, and I get a lot of energy from bringing the casual, genuine interaction, and just that down-to-earth human approach to disc golf. And so a lot of the disc golf media that you might see, a lot of disc golf videos that you might see, you'll see coverage of tournaments, you'll see players doing something a little bit more serious. And for us, we're just trying to show the fun parts of disc golf, right? Whether it's creating like a game that we just made up, or showcasing the incredible ability of the farthest forehand thrower on the planet, right? So that was a really great video, and just we have a lot of fun with it. So I love YouTube. I love creating videos. The partnership with you has always been a great thing. And now we're on this Rook Exchange venture because we have a common passion for chess, and a common passion for people in general. So it's taken us a really long way. So
yeah, and some music channel coming in the future.
A music channel? Oh my gosh. I don't know. Probably not for me.
So I know a lot about your disc golf career, but we've been friends for what, 5 years, 6 years?
5 years.
I don't know anything about like what you do for work or anything.
Yeah, I could definitely tell you about that. So I work at a company called C.H. Robinson, and C.H. Robinson, we like to call it the biggest company you've never heard of.
Yeah, your guys' headquarters looks like an underground bunker by you go to Lion's Tap and then you drive up the hill on Flying Cloud by the airport, and it's like there's this like underground bunker looking building. Like it's literally solid concrete with a parking lot in front.
It's a really great place to work, and we have just a lot of great customers. So basically, we're a third-party logistics company, meaning we connect customers who need their freight moved to carriers who have the ability to move that freight.
So you guys are a logistics company?
Yeah,
I would think.
Yep, logistics company, supply chain. And we're just moving freight, and that's basically the essence of our business. We do a lot of other things as well, lots of different modes of transportation. I mean, you name it, right? Truck, over the road. We've got over the rail as well. Refrigerated units, things like that. We could do ocean, we can do air, we can do expedited, we could do console, we could do LTL, we can do it all. Final mile, everything like that. And so
you guys must have just been cooking full blast during COVID. Just the supply chain stuff was probably unreal to figure out.
Yeah,
because everybody's home, everybody wants packages, and everybody, like, suppliers need, like, all basically the essentials for, like, surviving COVID, like masks and everything. And you guys probably helped, like, Medtronic and all those companies kind of figure out the ins and outs of getting stuff on time and actually keeping things in stock.
There were a lot of learning opportunities during COVID, but yeah, I would say overall CH Robinson just triumphed over everything.
Well, your business is right. I would think
we were well positioned.
I didn't think you guys would be hurting.
Yeah, no, we were definitely well positioned, and as a company, I think I can say speak for everybody at the company that we were very happy with the impact that we could make during COVID. So Robinson is amazing. I still work for CH Robinson. I started out in the account management world, just working for customers. My main customer was Tesla, so I did a lot of work with them. No, I never met Elon, and no, I never got a discount on a Tesla. But I also worked on the account of Westrock and HP Fuller, but my main one was Tesla, and that was a lot of fun.
So was it more figuring out how to ship the cars or the parts or any of that type of stuff?
So Tesla used CH Robinson for shipping their raw materials. So like we would move their metal, their glass, their glue, their like everything that puts their rubber, everything that puts to make everything that is essential for making a car, right? And so my main job was getting freight moved from suppliers all over, but mainly it was Mexico and the United States to Fremont, California, where that's where their headquarters is, and they would assemble cars there and make them there. But moving those raw materials, and I had the opportunity to create what's called a returnables program, where when shipments go to Fremont, the supplies go to Fremont, instead of like trashing things like pallets, racks, totes, things like that, the containers that things are moved in, we would pay those carriers, pay those drivers to go back, and we would pay them to go back to the suppliers with those empty racks, empty totes, empty bags, empty stuff like that. And so
they get like a refund or something once you they take in all that extra inventory, and then you kind of cut CH Robinson a check for kind of the.
It was basically like we wanted to give them what's called a backhaul. So like they would ship from A to B, but we wanted to pay them from going B to A as well, go back home pretty much. And so that was a good opportunity for them to have a guaranteed load going home that they'll be paid for, instead of having to drive home without getting paid. Right. And so there was that, but also that was a good way for Tesla to practice their responsibility in the environmental area. So, things would be reused and things like that. So,
well, EV car, and then also as an environmentally friendly with all their waste. I feel like you can't beat that, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really, really cool. And the beginnings of the Model 3 was my biggest project. And so just like bringing in all those parts. And so really, really fun.
Most affordable Tesla. So it's like, yeah, that's got to be like a crazy amount of material. So
yeah, absolutely. So that's what I did. And now what I do at CH Robinson, I've been doing this since the beginning of 2019. I am a facilitator, which basically means in the corporate world, I'm a teacher in the corporate world. So I have classrooms of people, whether they're new hires or people with more experience or higher ups, that want to learn something. So I teach new hire classes. I also teach certain things like coaching, feedback. I teach the carrier relationships, things like that. I lead a program called Key Account Sales Program, things like that. And so I just have all of these different sessions that I lead, and I'm basically a teacher in the business world, and I find that to be extremely fulfilling. I feel very, very, very fortunate, and I feel like one of the rare ones in the world who just adores their job. It's wonderful. I mean, it feels very similar to sitting in the host chair and interviewing people, just interacting with people on a genuine level, and being able to consider things like my presentation style, my vocal variety, my facial expressions, my body language, and just improving on myself as I go through my career.
Well, that's only going to help us, honestly.
Yeah.
If you keep reflecting on things, our channel's only going to get better too.
Yep. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love hosting. And so that's basically my career. I find a lot of value and a lot of passion and fulfillment in my career. So
what's next for you? Do you want to keep working at C.H. Robinson, or do you want to, I mean, clearly we would want to do this full time, but.
Yeah. I think that it would take a lot for me to not work at C.H. Robinson. I adore the job. I feel like I don't work a day in my life. I know that's a cliche to say, but I think it's true.
I feel the same way about my job too. It's like, you wouldn't get, even if they didn't pay you, you'd still do the job.
Exactly. I feel like if Rook Exchange were to fly off the ground and, everything's going really well, all of you subscribe and we're just doing awesome. We're just doing really, really well.
Yeah, it's all dependent if you subscribe.
That's all we need, right? And so I feel like if it got to the point where we just flew off the ground, I would want to do this full time, but I would still find a way. I would probably ask my direct manager.
You can teach me stuff.
I would probably ask my direct manager, like, hey, can I just do this type of class and work part time? Like, I don't want to ever leave C.H. Robinson. And so the way I see it, as long as I possibly can, I'll be working full time there. I fully plan on giving that company my entire career.
I'm kind of in the same spot too with Epicor, so it's like,
yeah.
But yeah, maybe we start filming the show at CH.
Use some of their training facilities. Yeah, man.
And then,
for sure.
I don't know, you can be a chess coach too there.
I have been thinking about being a chess coach, and some of you watching the channel, I would only teach beginners. And so I feel like my chess strength is high enough that I can very easily teach beginners, because first of all, I'm a teacher for a living, right? And secondly, I understand the game to a certain degree that I could definitely teach it, but not to people who are trying to become great, right? Just beginners learning the game, strategy, things like that. So I've actually considered it.
I figured you're pretty good at the end games and stuff. So I think teaching people, you probably would get better at chess in general too, because you're going to analyze, you're very self-reflective, so you can actually analyze how your teaching style with your students and stuff, and then reflect it to how you're actually playing over the board.
Agreed, for sure. Yep.
So have you taught your son how to play chess yet? Is the next question.
My son Wilson, he is 16 months old right now, and he is the cutest, most fun, lovable little baby boy. His name is Wilson. I have not showed him chess. I fear him near the chessboard. I feel like he's going to grab a piece and throw it and break it and just toss the board.
You're afraid of him tossing the board, not beating you yet?
Exactly. I'm afraid of. I'm afraid
of both things.
I think that would be more of a loss for me if he broke my board. And so, but I did. Well, actually, my wife Camille, she got him a book just because she knew I would really love it. She got him a book that's called Baby Chess, and so it's just with these fun depictions. And it kind of explains how the pieces move and basically what they can do and some of the strategy, but really it's just about how the pieces move, and it's basic and it's fun pictures and stuff like that. And
hey, you can just give it to every chess student at the beginning, you're on level 0.
Here you go, level 0 baby chess. Exactly. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that I would really like Wilson to play chess one day. If he doesn't, totally fine.
Well, it's a good game to actually understand, because it honestly applies to every aspect, every facet of your life.
Agreed.
Thinking ahead, basically being tactical and being strategic about things. I think that's so huge.
Yep, for sure.
So what is it like? I think I'll have kids eventually, but what is it like becoming a dad? I think that's everybody talks every man, woman that has a kid talks that's the greatest moment of their lives. It's the most rewarding thing.
So here's been my experience as a dad. It was very scary at the beginning. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what to do at all.
Camille did all the heavy lifting early. Let's be honest.
she did a lot, if not all, of the mental labor that comes along with being a first-time parent, and I didn't know what I was doing. I paged through a book and I watched a bunch of YouTube videos on how to be a good parent, but other than that,
I think it's just there's no book that'll teach you, because it's just such a new experience. It's like going to college, getting a job, your first job. There's stuff that you don't know what you don't know, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And so, yeah, the book and the YouTube videos did help. But really, it's just a learning process, like on the spot. And so for me, my experience as a dad started out first couple months. For me, I was just like, okay, I gotta jump in and figure this out. I gotta get in there. I gotta learn how to do all these different things, and it was difficult. And I gotta tell you, like, no joke, like every month that goes by, I just love being a dad more and more. And Wilson is he's a joy. I mean, he's an absolute joy. He does the funniest things that, like, to the parent, right? But might not necessarily be
to everybody else.
Yeah, it might not necessarily be the best to everybody else, but like for example, one thing that he'll do is he's really funny. Like, for example, one thing that he'll do is if I hand Wilson to Camille, or she hands him to me, or whatever, or if we're leaving somewhere, he says in a really sassy way. He doesn't even know he's doing it sassy, but he goes, "Bye bye," and it's just it makes me laugh every time. Bye bye. And it's just really, really funny. And then if he likes something, he says like 30. Yeah, he actually says like 40 or 50 words now. And it's just really, really impressive. At 16 months, saying about 50 words or so. And now he strings words together as well. And he just understands things. It's just really, really impressive. I would say he's definitely advanced for his age. And just
Every parent thinks their kid's advanced, though.
You're right. I think his language skills are definitely advanced.
Yeah, I've noticed that too when I've been around him. He's just like, hi, and like he's actually like,
he knows.
Well, it's like it's emotionally attached rather than like just saying the words to like actually learn and say the words, but he's actually like has intent behind it, which is cool.
And the language skills don't just stop at how you're able to speak. Like, for example, I can tell Wilson in a completely formed, structured sentence, I can say, "Wilson, can you go get me the pumpkin from the shelf?" And like, he knows what I'm talking about, and he would go get the pumpkin and bring it to me, and that would be different from me saying, "Wilson, can you go get the pumpkin and give it to the puppy?" Or "Can you go get the pumpkin and put it in the basket?" Like, he knows, he can follow directions, and he understands like complex sentences.
That's good parenting.
Hey, we're working on it, but no, he's just amazing, and he's a wonderful little kid. So
how has your relationship with Camille changed as you guys kind of co-parent and stuff? Because I know you kind of like all the focus is on the kid, on Wilson and stuff. And how do you guys kind of retain your relationship, improve it, and kind of do that type of stuff too? Yeah, because I think that's probably the challenge that a lot of couples go through is kind of figuring out how do we stay a couple and kind of I don't know, like keep having like time for each other and like that stuff. So how have you and Camille kind of figured out how to do that as Wilson grows?
Yeah. That's a great question. I think that our relationship is different, but it kind of feels similar as it was. So Camille has always been very type A, and I've always been very type B. I don't know how accurate those types are really, and how much they really encompass. But like in the general sense, for example, Camille is great at planning things. Camille is great at the thought of what's to come and things like that, and just kind of being on top of the mental labor. And so what I've had to do as we've had our first kid is I've had to put a lot of serious effort into sharing 50-50 that mental labor. And you know, there's still work to do, but I think that I've done a good job so far. And you know, always this is the thing, right? In my job, for example, at CH, one of the biggest things that my team and I do is we openly receive feedback from each other, and we're really good at that. And so that's something that we've employed in our relationship as well, where we receive feedback from each other and we do our best to take it in the best way, right? And so like, here's something you can improve on, like here's something that was difficult for me, blah blah blah. And it's just that's kind of what we thrive off of as a couple. And honestly, we're doing a better job now of, you know, getting babysitters here and there, you know, have our own time, things like that, go out on a date, so on and so forth. And we're putting some effort into that. But I mean, yeah, sometimes the days are long, and we have to talk a lot about the logistics. We have to talk a lot about like, what do we need to do for Wilson? What do we need to get for Wilson? What about tomorrow for Wilson? What is he going to eat? Like, he didn't eat anything for breakfast or lunch. Like, what's up with that? Is he sick? Do we send him to the doctor? Who knows, right? And so it's very logistically taxing. But I think that we get through it really, really well because we have a very high level of respect for each other, and we have a very high level of I guess you could say, mutual I guess you could say mutual respect for each other. So yeah, respect is the main thing, and like it comes earned, right? Respect is an earned thing, and so you have to go above and beyond what is comfortable for you in a relationship, and that's what we go off of. And so yeah, we have a great relationship. We've been together for 15 years, and so
almost, it's kind of crazy to think about, like, being with your significant other almost longer than you haven't been, like,
exactly,
you've been single.
Yep,
like, I was talking
absolutely.
to my father, and he was like, yeah, I've been with my mother, or Allie's mother-in-law, longer than I've even been by myself.
Yeah,
but I think a big thing too is you have, like, people think that people stay the same in relationships, but you and Camille are not the same people even before you had Wilson. Like, you continue to grow, and then you continue to kind of move the relationship forward for kind of what you need at this point in time.
Yep, definitely. Absolutely, well said.
So another thing too, because I'm huge into music, and that's kind of what we connected on too. But I think I remember you telling me when we first met that you were an opera singer.
At one point, yeah.
That's like something that not everybody can say that they've done, or like they are. Like, it's like
nice memory.
Yeah, once it's in here, it's good, but it's just like the first couple of minutes, it's like, I gotta make sure it goes to my long-term memory.
Yeah, definitely. I've always been a singer. That's my main thing. So stick around until the end. Maybe I'll play a song. Maybe I won't. Who knows?
You gotta sing some opera too.
I probably won't sing opera, but
well, your voice would probably vibrate everything off the wall.
It would be exactly. But yes, so my music history. I've always been a singer. I've always like sang in choirs growing up, and I was always the person to be first to put my name in the hat for a solo or something like that. I just wanted to be on stage. I wanted people to hear me, whether I was good or bad, I don't know. But I've learned a lot growing up, and I never had any like formal like voice training until I was in high school, and even that, it was pretty informal. Just my choir teachers, they would help, and they would kind of like be on that journey with me to become the best singer that I can be. And so through things like competing in literary, which is this big competition for anything that's artistic, I think it was like there was vocals in there. There was also things like extemporaneous speaking. There were things like debate, things like that. So anything that's kind of like a on the spot thought kind of art. I would compete in literary. I also was in all-state chorus a couple times in Georgia, where I sang in these big choirs. One of them was a mixed choir, another one was a men's choir, and I got the opportunity to sing bass 2 and bass 3. In high school, I had probably even a deeper voice than I have now, and I was able to like really project those super 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 low notes in that bass 3 basso profondo type range. I think over the years, I've practiced a lot of my higher range. And so my range has gone, it's kind of stayed low still, but it's gone up a lot and then up a little bit at the bottom end as well. And so I absolutely loved doing that in choirs and things like that. And so when I first got to college, my first major was operatic vocal performance. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was really fun. That was at Georgia State, and it was great. And after like a year and a half, I just realized, I don't know if this is going to be a solid business plan. And so what I ended up doing was just switching to marketing. I got a degree, a bachelor's in business administration. That's always a tongue twister for me. Bachelor's in business administration in marketing, and my concentration was specifically print advertising. And so, as you can tell, I did not get that degree. Let me start again. Editor's note. We're going to start that again. Weird to start in the middle of a thought. Okay. And so I didn't really see a way forward. And so what I ended up doing was I switched to a bachelor's in business administration. I got my degree in that with marketing as my concentration, specifically in print advertising. And now I am a facilitator in the supply chain industry. So I did not use that at all, much like a lot of people.
Well, now you have a cool party trick.
Now I have a cool party trick. Exactly.
Dude, I'm going to break this glass with my voice.
You're right. And so when I was in college, to finish that thought, when I was in college, I was in opera for a while, and I did, after my year and a half of opera in college, I continued to do opera like freelance and things like that. There are a couple recordings out there of me singing A couple notable pieces, one of them being Amazing Grace. That was one of my best. And I sang that opera, and it modulated a couple times, and I got to the really high notes and the really profound notes as well. And I just really loved opera and did that for a long time. And so every once in a while I'll still get called by some of these same people in Georgia and, hey, can you record? And I'll either say yes or no. But singing is definitely my passion. And so I've been singing my whole life. Let's see, I play piano as well. I've been playing piano for 25 years, probably 27 years or something like that. And then guitar I've been playing for maybe 20 years. And so I never really, I put a lot of effort into singing. I put a lot of practice into singing, and so that's something that I find a lot of value in. But it was always that opera type voice, right? So that's where I feel like my biggest skills are.
Is that because it challenged you? Is that why you kind of went there?
Yeah, I think it challenged me, and I think it's just what my voice was naturally best at. And so I don't think that my voice is naturally best at like country music, contemporary stuff, but like I just really like picking up the guitar, even though I haven't practiced it much. But like, yeah, I've been playing 20 years, and maybe in the sense if you're a musician out there and you like practice all the time, I probably am at the skill level of somebody who's been playing for like 6 to 10 years or something like that.
That's still more than the average person.
Right, exactly. But I just really love picking up the guitar and just singing a tune. Even though that's not really naturally where my voice is best, I just really, really enjoy that. So.
Well, Wilson seems to enjoy it, anyways.
Wilson likes it. Wilson always dances when I play, and when I finish.
I think that's the only fan that you need, honestly.
He's the only fan I need.
It's your kid.
And when I finish a song, Wilson does one thing or the other. He either goes ah, and then he claps and yeah, like that. So he goes ah, or he goes more, but it sounds like more, like that, and it's just the best. Just the best thing. So I found an audience in him, and I mean, I could play for 50,000 people, but I'd rather play for Wilson.
So do your parents have any like my family doesn't have any musical backgrounds, and I don't know how I gravitated to it, but did anybody in your family or anything, are they musicians or anything, or any trained like that?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had some musicians in my family, mainly on my dad's side. My dad was a singer as well, and he was a guitarist too. He played in a band back in his day, and he really loved it. And I would say that I attribute most of my musical success to my parents, and so I have both of them to thank for always being my biggest fans. Just like I'm going to be Wilson's biggest fan with whatever he does. Hopefully he's a musician as well. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, so it started really with my dad being a singer and a guitarist, and my dad plays piano as well. And just kind of being in that environment, right? That him being a musician in his past meant that I had a piano in the house, and meant that I had a guitar in the house. And it meant that singing was encouraged, right? So all of that, my brother is a incredible, very, very impressive guitar player as well. And so the music runs in our family. And then this also stems from my dad's dad, who was a great pianist. Just absolutely amazing at the piano. He could play whatever he wanted to play just on the spot. So there's music in my family for sure. And my mom's side, there's a little bit of music in the family as well. A little bit less though.
Next question is, so does your dad play chess, or who else plays chess in your family? Because nobody in my family. My brother plays chess, and that's about it.
I have my chess history is 100% thanks to my dad, for sure. My dad loved chess back in his day, and he still loves chess. He doesn't want to play me online. He only wants to play over the board, which is understandable.
So chess.com needs to wire something up to chessboards so you can play online, but your dad, the pieces are moving on the board and stuff for him.
That actually exists. We don't have that. They're super expensive chessboards, but one person can play a move, and they could be on the other side of the world, which my parents are on the other hemisphere of the world. And then it'll move. It won't move, but there's this one board that'll actually move the pieces through magnets, but there's another board that will just show you where they move, and you'll just move it for it.
I think it lights up or something.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a cool one. So I do want to get one of those boards one day, and hopefully my dad will play me over the board from a distance. But my parents live in Ecuador, and they have a couple cool things related to chess, and I think that a lot of it is for my benefit. But they have on their terrace in their house, they have a chessboard up there that's life-size pieces are they come up to here.
Oh man,
that's pretty cool.
So you get a workout when you're moving them?
Yeah, they're kind of heavy. So that's really, really cool. And then my dad also like had this artist in town kind of handcraft this beautiful chess table, and the pieces are like that tall, and the table's like that big, and it's just really cool. There's actually a short on this channel on Rook Exchange where it shows me and my dad playing at the beach. They live on the beach in Ecuador. And we took that table down to the beach, planted it in the sand, and we played a chess game there. And the loser had to jump in the water. And so I won't give it away who won or lost that game and who had to jump in the water, but go take a look at that short after you're done with this video. It was a lot of fun. So I have my dad to thank for chess for sure. And then really just over time, I gained a really big passion for it. I would say right around the Queen's Gambit area, the show, I would say I loved chess. I had a big passion for chess before that, but I definitely did not play as often. And so that really like woke up the world to the game of chess. And a lot of people play now, and I think that's also a big motivation for me is so many people play now.
And I think most people know what chess is because of Magnus Carlsen, just because of how good he is.
Yeah. That
they're just astounded by like just the average person that doesn't play chess, kind of from like a fly in the wall.
Yeah.
Is like, I don't know. It brought chess more mainstream, I think, and then the Queen's Gambit helped too, and then kind of sort of like with Rook Exchange and stuff and chess in general. What do you want to do with in the future?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, our biggest goals are to interview very high-profile people, people that have just really something to employ on the world, right? Like, world-class, like you said in the last episode, world-class surgeons, world-class lawyers.
We got the Mayo,
doctors.
Man. We have the Mayo, so we got a lot of opportunity.
We got Mayo here, exactly, in Minnesota. And just, CEOs of huge companies and celebrities if we make it there, and, musicians and artists and things like that. We want to interview these really interesting high-profile people that all of you, the viewers, can watch these videos and learn something, right, through an interview. A lot of people watch interviews on YouTube, and that's basically the essence of this channel, except we wanted to do something else with it, have another kind of like underlying, this is what we do as well, and that is chess, because we both love chess, and our guests don't necessarily have to be great at chess, right? No. You can be a world-class surgeon, or you could be a CEO of a company and not be good at chess, right? So it's kind of like the luck of the draw. So it's almost like a guessing game, like how good is the CEO of Cargill going to be at chess? You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
And on the flip side, it's also, I think, to get kind of influential people into the game of chess too.
That's right.
Like I think I kind of came to that conclusion right now as we're talking is to get other people interested in chess is, I think, another goal of us.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
Because that means more viewers.
Yeah, exactly.
Just in the end, but
exactly.
But imagine
it's just more quality, higher quality content that we can bring to everybody, and so that's the biggest goal. And yeah, the only requirement on the chessboard is that you know how the pieces move, and you can.
We have a book for that too.
Yeah, you know how the pieces
just
move.
Send every.
You know how to play a game, whether you know openings, whether you know strategy or not, doesn't matter. As long as you know what check is, and you know that you can promote, and you know that like how to checkmate and stuff like that, or at least that's a possibility. Capturing.
A week before our guests come on, send them baby chess.
Baby chess, exactly. Yes.
Be like, I know this is a children's book, but it'll teach you how to move the pieces. Yep. Wasn't your great grandpa the president of Ecuador? That's like interesting too, and opera is very interesting.
I believe it was my great grandfather was the president of Colombia, and
that's crazy.
And my great grandfather was elected president of Ecuador, but he was actually assassinated before he took office.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I can't say anyone in my family's been assassinated or held public office.
I've had a lot of interesting things in my family. Like, for example, my grandpa, my dad's dad, was an ambassador for Ecuador, and so he had embassies all over the world. It was like 7 different embassies or something like that.
We should have talked about that in the interview, but we can cut this in, I think.
No, this can be part of it. Yeah, absolutely.
When your dad is ping pong champion and he basically was a high level
ping pong champion. Yep.
That's insane.
National ping pong gold medalist.
What are you and your brother doing?
Dude, nothing. My grandpa won a German bowling championship and my dad was the national champion ping pong in Guatemala. And so, as a disc golfer, my dad fully believes that I can be the U.S. champion. And I'm like, I think I have a better chance of being the Ecuadorian champion.
Jeez. Well, there's like one course in Ecuador, and it's in like the mountains.
Exactly, and it's the course at the highest elevation in the world. It's at like 13,000 feet above sea level.
So do you set a world record just by playing the course?
Yeah, pretty much. I'll be the highest rated player who's ever played the highest course.
You could be the highest player to play the highest course ever with the highest rating.
Oh, I don't know about that. All right, man. Let's get into the chess game.
All right, let's do it.
All right, we've got d4 on the board. I'll reply with knight f6.
Go
London.
Yep.
All right.
I love the London.
Going London.
It makes sense.
I will respond in a principled way. We'll go d5. All right, I like that.
I play the London the most out of any opening, I would say.
Yeah, that's good for sure. Let's see. I am going to strike pretty quickly with c5. Okay, that's fine, I guess. You can do that. It's not against the rules.
I don't think it is against the rules.
I'll play a little unconventionally here. I'll take d4. All right, c takes d4 as well. Let's see here. How about how about I play g6? Bringing that knight out. I will meet that knight as well with my knight. Bishop d3, you say? I guess that is pretty standard in the London.
Yeah, it is.
Let's be in the bishop. Castles and castles. We're off to a good start.
Cheers.
Cheers. Our kings are saying, hello over the fence.
Yeah.
Okay, we got knight b d2.
Got the nice field goal set up with the H.
I'll play rook e8. Our last game was super fun. If you didn't see the last episode, that was a
I'm
very
playing
fun
rook c1.
Okay, awesome. I believe that is a decent move.
Got to control that file.
Yeah. We're going to go bishop g4, pinning your knight.
That's a really good move because that's where I want to move my knight or move my queen. It's out there.
And I say no thank you.
I know.
Okay. Bishop e5. Interesting indeed.
What does Levy say about attacking the pin piece again? What does he call it?
PP on the PP.
Yeah, PP on the PP.
Put pressure on the pinned piece.
Yeah, PP on the PP.
Let's jump in with knight e4.
Okay. I think I'm going to support this piece.
Okay. I will take this knight right here.
I figured that was the play. I was going to move.
Sure. You go. That's fine.
Yeah, it's not pinned anymore. This looks more like a conventional game between the two of us. I just play the London so much that I know like a lot of the variations that my opponents play.
Yep. Yeah, that bishop takes was not as strong of a move as I thought it was.
Well, if my knight wasn't here, yeah, it would have been a way stronger move.
Way stronger.
Because I would have got that pawned out, but It's Mama, isn't
Oh,
it?
here's Clark. The appearance has been made. Hello, buddy. Hello.
You guys want to see a disappearing dog?
A disappearing dog. He goes right behind the digital chessboard. Hey, buddy boy. Is this where you live? Behind the chess.com board? Good job, buddy. Let's just go with Rook C8.
That's not a bad move. I don't know why, but I like this move because it blocks that pawn.
Mm-hmm. I like that move. We'll go ahead and take it.
Yeah, I'll take back.
Yep. Take back on G5. And what I'd like to do is let's play E5.
I knew this queen's not going to be for free, but it's kind of too good of a move to take.
It was a complete blunder. I didn't even see that you could take my queen. Complete blunder.
I was like, what is it? Like,
Complete
that's
blunder,
what's
dude.
so tricky about like not being grandmasters or FIDE masters or international masters.
You could just be a person with a brain and see
Well,
that.
I'm saying, but it's like, I'm not expecting you to make like that type of blunder, and you're like,
I don't think I've ever made that kind of blunder with you.
but it's like,
We played like 130 games.
and
or
he's
something
beating
like
me like 128.
that. Yeah. I've never given up a queen like that.
But it's like when you play something that's like,
Oh.
that's what's interesting because I think grandmasters play all book moves and all the best moves, but it's like when someone plays like that, you're like, are they messing with me?
Gosh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. I know what you mean.
And then you're like, well, what do I do now?
I know. Okay. Well, hey, people blunder their queen. That's the way it is. We're gonna play.
So that bishop was super powerful, is
Rook
what you're
C-
saying.
Yeah. We could say Rook C takes D8. Oh my gosh, man! How could I possibly do that? Oh. Okay, we're gonna do everything we can to fight.
Your endgame is really good, so I'm.
Okay.
That's where I wanted to initially move that queen, was in that space.
Yeah. I feel like attacking your queen with one of my pawns. I feel like that's what I'm gonna do. You've got no. See, that's not smart. That's not good. So you still have this. Just go like this. We're gonna go Rook E6.
I like that. Just because as soon as you move that rook, that one's not pinned, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the toughest thing I had to learn over the last couple of weeks is bring your pieces back into play rather than.
You play E takes D4.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Takes back. I'm gonna play.
I see what you should play.
Yeah.
It's your best move.
I think I'm gonna play Knight takes D4.
I was gonna say bishop takes because then you keep the bishop there.
Rook E3.
fine trading rooks because I'm got the piece advantage.
I don't think I want to trade rooks. Let me take this bishop. So you played rook e1, and I played.
I should have supported that bishop. God.
Yeah, you still have 3 points.
I know. We're gonna get aggressive.
Okay, I like this.
I feel like this is the time to get aggressive, just because.
Play h5. Okay. Bishop d4 check.
No, not necessarily.
Okay, so you play king h1. I think I'm going to play king g7.
I would do that to get the king out.
Yeah, king g7. That's just another straight up blunder, dude.
How didn't you see? Dude, my queen was...
I don't know. What is going on, bro? What is going on? Oh my god.
How did you get...
How is that possible?
Your
bro?
chess teacher is going to be rolling in his bed.
Just rolling.
Just rolling.
So mad.
Spinning, man.
Oh my god, dude.
I don't...
Alright, I'm going to play.
Alright, this is very uncharacteristic of Richie.
Yeah.
Super uncharacteristic.
Super uncharacteristic. We played bishop c5. God, dude. Figure something out. Checkmate.
Eh. That's... If that ain't the game of chess...
Oh my god, what a game.
You just have more experience than me. That's why I like...
I needed to... That is a perfect example how the game of chess is a psychological game. I blundered my queen and I blundered my rook, and then you thought I blundered my bishop. Because I'm on a roll blundering. Mate.
You played the person, not the game.
I played the person, not the game. I'm sorry, bro. You crushed that game. You deserved the win, but...
No.
I had to play a psychological.
You have to earn the win. You never deserve anything.
It had to be a psychological move there. Oh, wow.
You just played the pattern, and then... God, I was going to win.
That was... They always say, like, that was the worst game of my life. I think that was at least my worst game in the last year. In the last year, for sure.
Thank you so much for letting me interview you, Richie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm excited for the future of Rook Exchange and everything else. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the 4th episode of Rook Exchange. I think the only thing left is to have you play us a song.
Okay, absolutely, I will. That sounds good.
All right.
I wish that I could be the man I know, but all they say is off to work you go. And don't forget that when you're fine still ain't no time to play. Well, I'm a-callin' with a nasty cough, so I can play me some frisbee golf. The supervisor wants to have a talk about how I spend my days. Well, he can wait until I come around, 'cause I like who I am today. I've got a free soul and a simple sound, and I won't let him take that away. Sometimes I feel like rounding up the boys on a weekday to go berserk. So once I've played, I'll work. The manager says, "Can you stay late?" He doesn't know that I have a day. And I ain't the kind to make my baby wait, 'cause she's number one to me. Well, he can sit there while we hit the town, and I spend up a week's worth of pay. And in the morning he can simmer down if I walk in a few minutes late, 'cause I was able to make her laugh and eventually go berserk. Once I've played, I'll work. Well, he can wait until I come around, 'cause I like who I am today. I've got a free soul and a simple sound, and I won't let him take that away. Sometimes I feel like rounding up the boys on a weekday to go berserk. So once I've played, I'll work.